Okay. Frames are good, right? Hi! So I was trying to figure out what to stream next on a whim. I was like, you know what? Why not investigations? I feel like doing more voice acting after .hack. There's wannabe voice actress up there for a reason. Also, I have a ton of Ace Attorney shitposts from when I was like a teenager, and that was like all I did. That was like all I did with my friends on like Tumblr and Twitter in like 2014, 2015. Or it's interesting how you can mark like, is epoch the right word? They're like social media epochs, whatever. Anyway, it says in my bio, we're gonna play the game, I promise. It says in my bio that I have separate compartments in my brain for Ace Attorney and Assassin's Creed. I do. This is actually a limited edition figure that came with the release, with the Japanese release, because the the West never got a physical release of Investigations 2. This is a Japanese release exclusive, and it's very dusty, don't yell at me. A very good friend of mine got this for me as a birthday present like 10 years ago, so Nick, I doubt you're ever gonna see this, but if you do, I love you, and hit me up. I'm sorry for, it's been a while, you get it. But yeah, I have keychains of Edgeworth and Lung. I believe his name is, well, if you look at, I'm fucking all over the place, dude. I love Ace Attorney. It's one of my special interests. When I saw the reveal trailer for this collection, it was actually from Capcom's Japanese channel, because I was insane. And again, like when I was 18, 19, I would stay up till like 5 in the morning to watch Capcom presentations in Japan that were like at 8 p.m. Japan time, but like 5 a.m. California time or some shit. And so like, that's the reason I'd be following channels like this, right? And it's like, oh, it's a remastered collection. And at some point in that presentation, you hear objection, and I'm like, holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! There's an English. Because if this is the collection of both games, and number 2 never got a localization in the West, oh my god! And I fucking lost my mind. I lost my shit. So it felt, I don't know, it felt kind of different. It felt sort of different in that regard. I love these games. Guess what else I have? Another birthday present this time from my mom. It is actually the official strategy guide for this game. I hope someday I am able to fully read it. I can read some. Skosteke. But not enough, you know? So, and I have a lot of fan art. But a lot of it's old, and I don't really like it that much anymore. I should redraw some. Yes, there is the soundtrack has like there's a new arranged version of the soundtrack, and updated. Now there's like, instead of the pixel art, there's what's the term I'm looking for? Because they're both illustrated, but you know what I mean. So I've actually replayed this game pretty recently. I think it was in 2023 or maybe 2024. I love it so much. What I was saying about Lung, we're not going to meet him until case 3, but we will be dealing... Yeah, case 3. He's one of my favorites. He's... Alright, so look in the bottom. He's the dude in the middle. He and Edgeworth are like perfect. They're perfect foils. And you would think Lung is just like this dumb meathead, and he sort of is, but he has convictions in the same way that Edgeworth does, and we're gonna just play the game. I'm so excited to bring this to you. March 14th, 11:16 a.m. Question mark. I'll explain why I have the webcam on. to make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why... why go this far? Sorry. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. The guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Okay, so the reason I have the webcam on is because I ran a few tests earlier. And I was just doing my thing, normally. As I do. And I can hide the webcam, right? But when I'm talking in between, I'm just so used to gesticulating like this. And there are gonna be things that I talk about later that I demonstrate that kind of like need like physical... I don't know. Did I say what? I think I mentioned earlier. It was like one of the first things I said. I'm like, I have the webcam on because I'm vain. Anyway. I'll get the show on the road. Let's go. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office. And keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? That's so good. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing a murder in a prosecutor's office. Edgeworth didn't even flinch. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. I think I remember who that was. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. I think... Okay, yep. I think Edgeworth's on the spectrum. Look at how the game is structured and you'll see why. Also, the Steel Samurai is a special interest. Easy. Easy peasy. I've finished photographing. I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being, apparently. I played this game when it came out. I remember the court records leaks for this in like 2000, This game came out in 2011, I think. I think they released for this in like 2010, 2009, maybe? And just like the sight of Edgeworth running, because Ace Attorney didn't have this, like, prior to the investigation spin-offs, it was all, like, just from the waist up. So to have this dual screen where you're actually walking around and interacting with the crime scenes and stuff, it was huge, it was massive. And the Edgeworth spin-offs are two of the best games in the series. This one is really good, the first one, I've also played the fan patches. Excuse me, I've played the fan patch for Investigations 2. It's just called Prosecutor's Path, isn't it? I played it, forgets the title. It's very good. I wanted to stream that, but it's like, it is hell on earth to stream well, I guess I can use an emulator, yeah. It is hell on earth to stream a 3DS game. I wanted to do a Nuzlocke. Zip it. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ah! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say. The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office, he says with a dead body right next to him. Whoa! Sounds like you're really getting burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Is it really? Is it? It kind of isn't. It's sort of not, but I don't see any reason why he can't. Also, we'll be dealing with a cartoonification of the Japanese legal system, or the Japanifornian legal system, as opposed to... God, I don't know what it is about. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited I could bear... It's like Pandora's box, but with info dumping. Anyway. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay! Time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So, I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Cole Phelps says that shit too. Autism brain. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Is it really coincidence? I love the UI. It's really good, but just the puzzle pieces. The font is kind of bothering me though. And like the nameplate, it's kind of fucking me up. That H is out of alignment. Okay. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? The office key. For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall the information we've gathered with L1, and then I connect them together with triangle. How else do you explain it, I guess? Now, to use L1 and recall the facts. Oh my god, Tim. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir! There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Begin investigation. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir! I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply use X when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use triangle, okay? I'll give you great, precise evidence as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I guess. I suppose. God, Gumshoe's like, hey, if you want to talk, you know, just shoot the shit. You know, try and make sense of this. I'm here. Edgeworth's like, maybe if I have free time. Maybe if I have time to kill, I guess. Yeah, the fandom lost their shit over Edgeworth running. Not this high definition version, but like, God, it was crazy! It was, okay. I'm very excited. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but... the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pinky's Info Dumping, Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise, and even the new stage show gives it presence. You sure know a lot. You sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not! No, anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much! And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. He's so embarrassed. It's because Manfred never let him or Franziska do anything fun when they were growing up. They just had to study. And he shamed them out of having any interests, or especially things that were like for kids, such as like the Steel Samurai. Yes, I'm telling you, I have a separate compartment in my brain for this. Oh, Edgeworth just has, unfortunately, there are a lot of things repressed. But he processes them so healthily. I'm so proud of him. Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir! That killer's going to pay! This tea set. Yikes! You're really mad over this! This tea set is very dear to my heart, and it can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What?! Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks! I mean, he's not getting any warmer. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually! What a coinkydink! Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Oh, we'll save that. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep. A bullet was discharged from a firearm and happened to pass through the body of a victim. Sir, he sustained injuries that was incompatible with life. No, I don't know who shot it. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Oh yeah, I think Gregory is an Englishman. So I think... Oh, there goes my light source. So I think... Just for... When I say Edgeworth, I mean this one. And when I say Gregory, I'm talking about his father, who we get to play as in the second game. God! The same dude who wrote both of these games, Investigations 1 and 2, also wrote... Yeah, he fucking wrote Spirit of Justice and Dual Destinies, which wasn't as bad as... Spirit of Justice is the worst Ace Attorney game. If I'm ever... Did I say this last time? If I ever say to you, Spirit of Justice is the best Ace Attorney game, I am about to die, and I need you to send help. Okay? That game is so fucking bad. It is such a I hate it. It wouldn't even be fun to play as a... Like, to hate play. I'd just be angry at how bad it is. What was I talking about? I love this game. It's so good. I really, really enjoy this UI. It's like the business card. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m. You gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course! Oh, that's right, I was saying I think Gregory is an Englishman. So obviously he has an accent. But I think the way that he pronounces certain words, like process, or schedule, or... I'll see if that's consistent with one English accent. The pronunciations, but... So I think Edgeworth, even though his accent is, like, American, he still has, like, he still pronounces certain words with the UK. He still uses the UK pronunciation for some words, and it sounds a bit jarring, but it's just like because his dad said it that way. Of course! It's the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so! I keep all the evidence I find, either in or with my organizer. My PDA. Was it personal digital assistant? When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R1 to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Ah, yes, God, it's so good. That's a pretty recent addition. I think Dual Destinies was where it included the little check mark for something that you'd already investigated. That was huge. That was so fucking massive. A lot of things about Dual Destinies were huge, namely that it was the first, like, 3D Ace Attorney game. We all need to learn how to 3D model for the Phoenix Wrong Renaissance. Your files are all over the floor, sir! They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away! I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless! Hope you did not hear that mouth sound. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. Just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Dude. Edgeworth is... No, he's not tsundere. Yeah, he's kind of tsundere, like a cross between tsundere and kudere. I'm fully fit! I packed those files on these shelves so tight, not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them! At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all! A problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. We didn't look at this one? Aw, too bad. That'll come into play later. Aw, they even knocked over your chess set! I had it all set up ready for when you got back. Figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. Oh, come on. I fucking love him. Edgeworth can't talk like a normal person. It's just not possible, and I get that. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model! I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So, it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. No, I don't like any excuse to engage, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I think a lot of folks take advantage of that. And I don't want to be part of that, sir. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Nobody uses the word pertinent except me and this freak. Now, to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. I don't think I have everything, though. Wait. I do not. It's gonna be so nice to see the HD sprites. I can't wait to see them in HD. Okay, so his name is spelled like... It's not spelled with any diacritics. Nor is Jungfa, like the country he's from. It looks like, or to my dumb American ass, it looks like Zhengfa. But I ran it through a translator. It just means law and order, by the way, in Chinese. In Chinese characters. Anyway, so his name looks like Shilong Lang, but taking and they are words in Chinese put together. It's like something, there's like dragon and wolf. So it looks like Shilong Lang, my dumb American Western ass. But if I'm not mistaken, the way you would pronounce it is Shilong Lang. So it's closer to like lung and not lang. So, to my understanding, we're not even gonna have to deal with him till like case 3. This game's so great. I love it so much. Okay, relax. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on the sofa. Okay, hold on. It's a curious thing to say. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe? You know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. But you're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. That's right, he's always threatening him to cut his paycheck. I think he stops that shit by AI too. I think. Manfred did so... Infant almost destroyed him. There's a significant overlap in a Venn diagram of Miles Edgeworth and Haytham Kenway. Nobody's ready for that conversation. Can I look at my save, please? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir! Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir! And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes, sir! Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, Should look around a bit more. Oh, what could it possibly be? Oh, it says K. It's this prosecutor trophy, and it says K on it because the word for prosecutor is Kenji. K-E-N-J-I would be the spelling. Oh, it's your trophy! The Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this YouTube subscribe button to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that's something only I can determine for myself. Ah, that's so much. God, this game characterizes Edgeworth so well. It's so good. He's come so far. That's so slick, sir! I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Such asshole. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I feel like I'm going insane. Oh, are these from Old Bag? Yes. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that came with a card attached the ones that come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you? Yep. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy. Ah, Miss Irony. How painful are thy thorns. Wendy. Isn't that the name of that old lady with the whiny voice that stopped? That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further. He said, ladders. Well, this is a ladder. First of all, let's get that out of the way. It's a ladder because it goes up one way. It's just one continuous ladder. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. Nope. I was making sure this cup wasn't leaking. And also, I was like, what do you do at work? To say that. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah! That thing's so polished that it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir! And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. I mean, it's not his... How much of it is his fault? Like, he didn't fucking kill the guy. You called, sir? Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately. Upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective... Sorry, sir. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, sir! Examine anything and everything with X. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see the evidence we've collected with R1. For information and leads, it's L1. That's it. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly it's something you lack. God. Such a pretentious asshole. I seem to have picked up a few good leads. Oh! So now you're gonna do that thing you do with all that information, right? What are you babbling about? The brainy thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir! Logic. You said that you can look at all your leads and info by pressing L1. And then you pick the ones that seem related with X and connect them with triangle. That's your way of investigating, right, sir? Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary. Okay, then how about I explain my logic to you next? That is even more unnecessary. I'm just too nice to be passive-aggressive like that. Let's get in the Mine Palace. Why did this happen in your office? Signs of a struggle. I mean, it looks like they were searching for something. Fuck. I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. Also, I love getting the answers wrong to a lot of these because there are hidden gems of dialogue in there. Like, there's this one you get during a rebuttal with Lung in case 3, I think. And if you get it wrong, he's like, why don't you stuff that jabot in your mouth and shut up or some shit. And like, it is a jabot. It's not a cravat, it's a jabot. And I'm like, I fucking love that Lung knows that. I love that he knows what that article of clothing is. Victim was a detective. Come on, I can't look silly during the tutorial case. I only woke up a couple of hours ago, alright? Yeah, it's reasonable to assume that the killer was a detective or used this model. I mean, you can trace this model to Buddy Faith. Oh, poor bastard. Oh, yeah. Ace Attorney names galore. I mean, in the literal sense this time. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to a recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir! On it now, sir! Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! This guy's wearing a gun holster! So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the right stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Oh, detective. Some of us would beg to differ. Use L1 and R1 to zoom in and out and get at the nitty-gritty. Okay. L1 to zoom in and out. What is this? Is this a cult revolver? Is that what that's supposed to be referencing? That'd be cute. Police don't carry Colts. I don't know. Maybe in Japan they're packing that kind of heat. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Wow, that's pretty in-depth. Even... I'm not sure even the original sprites were that in-depth. Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just leave me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am! I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor, like Jock Sportsman. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So, you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that's correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go jumping to conclusions, pal! Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutors' office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah! Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Oh wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal, you got it all wrong! Everyone calm down! Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right. My mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Imagine him, like, wiping at his eyebrow. Alright. Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. I'm not sure if he, like, pulls a Hatham and just looks at his hand. No, that implies that he shook his hand, like, a pleasure to work with you, if begrudgingly. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Now carry on then. It's your room, after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Oh, how could this have happened? He was so faithful. Should probably give them some space. I just did this, didn't I? No. It wouldn't change again. That's like going to the fridge and hoping there'll, like, something will miraculously manifest there a second time. I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. There probably isn't. Oh, that's right! Here. This is... Talk about motivation. Ah! Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they'd shot through it? It would have been a disaster! It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Oh, really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. It's starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my own way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press triangle with conviction. Conforte. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. That would be... Yeah, it's only one shot fired. Where'd the other one come from, right? Oh, the profiles... Oh, I love this! The little notebook? I do love the remasters. There's a lot I have to say about the typography of the remasters for some reason, especially the Great Ace Attorney. But the UI, damn it looks good. It looks so good. We didn't have this. We just had rows and columns on the DS. We didn't have the illustration of the notebook. I'm closer to Gumshoe's age than I am to Edgeworth's. Am I? No, I'm in the middle. Edgeworth's like 26. Gumshoe is 32. I'm 29. That's 3 years still. I'm gonna be 30 though. That's young. Relax. You're gonna get there too, by the way. Proof of my possession. However, I prefer to keep it in my... No, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to present it. I wanted to look at it. I wanted to talk about... I wanted to talk about it with Gumshoe. I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot. You don't understand? You see, therein lies the contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. It'd be nice if you just admit when you're wrong. That wasn't a mistake. That was me keeping you on your toes, Detective. I don't make mistakes. I'm perfect. I'm a 5-star man. Yes, I wanted to look at this. This is what I wanted to do. This badge's design is said to reflect the relentlessness and discipline of law enforcement. It comes from the authority vested in us as strict protectors of the law, and executors of sentences much like harsh winter frosts and blazing summer days. To wear it is to identify oneself as a prosecutor, but I have no interest in doing so. Yeah, it seems like a good way to get your shit stomped. Each prosecutor's badge is engraved with the number of its owner on the back. Numbers. As if we're not human on the inside, like everyone else. Yeah, it's... Just wait till we talk to prisoner 10346662. Okay. It was this. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too! Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another in play here? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! Ooh, talk about dusty! Suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I would have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea! Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. Oh, really? So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now? Nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. Oh, really? That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Each prosecutor only has one secret safe in their office. Only they know of them. Trial evidence use. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I never knew there was a safe hidden back here. Well, if detectives knew about them, then they wouldn't be secret, now would they? Are there any other secret hidden things in this room? Even if there were, it would defeat the purpose of them being hidden if I told you. So don't bother looking for them. So there's no, like, hidden camera around, right? And what if there was? No, it's nothing. But forget I said anything. Do I even want to ask what he's been doing in my office while I've been away? See, this is why you have to look at everything. 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 Or you're gonna miss gems. You're gonna miss some real gems. And they work hard. Hey, the people who translate and localize these games, they work hard. Cramming in all that dialogue that potentially nobody's gonna look at, right? That most people are gonna skip over, but it's there, and it would be weird if there were just like random loose ends of untranslated Japanese that just weren't tied up. That's hard work. Come on. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah. There's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Garçon? Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Secret safe update. Prints were wiped. Updated my organizer. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with facts and logic with the information we have. That's... No. Yes. And these two should go together. Why did this happen in your office? They were looking for something that you have, specifically. There we go. I can't get shit wrong in this tutorial case. I can't lose my brain on stream when I play detective games. I can't. I can't. Do you know how wounding that is to my ego? I believe I've figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Theft question mark. At what age do you start, like, saying, like, combining two words at once when you're thinking of different things? Because I think I only started doing that after 26. Just out of curiosity, eh? I mean, yeah. Signs of a struggle, ransacking. So, oh! Careful. Hey, I unmuted the mic this time. I almost reset it. I'm like stuck in gumshoe voice now. I almost reset it. I'm very excited to bring this to you. There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh! You mean like it could be from when the victor tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir! I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library! Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do, huh? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help! 5D move. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal! Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kinda grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. I don't have the time to be grossed out. Me too. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. So, if we're looking at this right, the blood would indicate... I mean, he definitely wasn't shot here. Because the blood stains would indicate... I don't know why blood would be on his hands, but... This suggests that he fell back against the bookshelf. Tried to steady himself on that part of the ledge. This is why I have to keep the webcam on. And then slumped downward. If he were shot through the abdomen... then it should be up in this area, right? If that were the sequence of events that happened. Based on just like the pattern of the bloodstains. But it's not. So it suggests that these were shifted. Also, not only that, but the way they're numbered. I was like, yeah, this is so fucking obvious, but I guess in the moment you don't have much time. How much time did... Never mind. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. He's like, Gumshoe's like looking at it. Like it's a scary movie. That would be the logical conclusion. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See? I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Aw. I suppose not. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. I put them all back just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. I found what I'm looking for. Have I looked at everything? Not a question mark left unturned. What does the evidence say? It went through his abdomen, but he's not sitting. But what contradicts that? I think this, right? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I was gonna say it could be. You could say it was the gun, because how do you... There were two guns involved. There had to... Yes, there were. It would have to be the body, right? There is clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? Maybe the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Yeah! You see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. Oh, really? They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Ah, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? You don't think this is disrespectful or anything, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? It's what he would have wanted. They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected. I can just imagine Gumshoe, like, making sure his hat's on. Make sure you look good for it, buddy. Ow. Friend. We all deal with grief differently, pal. As I suspected. The bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. This... What's that? does it say gumshoe on there with blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. Nothing like the gunshots. No! Wait! There's gotta be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Stolen file. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Investigation complete. Heals. Yay. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words... they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. Like, I think Edgeworth knows he killed him at this point. He's like, what do you do? What is your thing here, dude? You got it! I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth! What are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh! How do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well. Alright. First, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with R1 and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use triangle, but that's old news. But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in the testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with L1. Also, pressing every statement, you must. Not just for that, but... again, you'll miss gems of dialogue. Sometimes, by pressing, I can draw out new information or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now, watch carefully. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe. You stole Jim's gum from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling out for his killer's arrest! Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead! You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jock and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jock and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. What, you don't go through partners like crazy? Detectives be like, he's my partner. Okay. Okay. Furthermore, you'd messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey! Are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but... Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I have to come up with more than a handful of voices. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway, that's a weak-ass argument. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal! There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. It sucks when you make a shitty one. It sucks when you're bad at first impressions. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it, with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing spike. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
Hold it!
Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yep. Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. It looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He's yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit that my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now, to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Let's see. It's when he moved Jim's body that was in front of the bookshelf. He didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Cut through the noise. If you don't know which statements in an Ace Attorney game you're supposed to present evidence at, if they make a statement of fact or try to assert a statement of fact, if it's just fluff like, no, not this, but not fluff, but actually not that. No, autoplay. As I was saying. No, fuck. Okay, the last one. And it will be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. Fluff, right? You can't present evidence. You can't contradict something like that, right? You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. when you moved his body. Sitting in front of the bookshelf. No, he didn't mess up the files. He cleaned them, didn't he? Well, no, that's not quite what we're... When you move Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. God, the background looks really good, too. You can see, like, the phone. You can see the landline, you can see the dishes stacked up. The desk light. It's really good. It all looks really good it's all in perspective, too. The sprites. Well, yeah, obviously, but... Just working in a 3D space, I've always loved the art for the investigation spin-offs, specifically. Okay, cut to the chase. You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Edgeworth's like, even Gumshoe can figure this one out. We have to think about, like, what did happen. What did happen, and then work backwards. Okay. So he walked in and shot him. Portsman walked in, or whatever. He didn't walk in and shoot him, but they had that conversation, and he shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. Sounds like projection. You stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Why would he need to do that if... Why would he need to do that if... they're all issued that model? That's not the contradiction here, but... I'm pretty sure that's not the contradiction here. Furthermore, you messed with the files to make it look like you committed theft instead. I feel like this is it. It's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. I'm thinking about it from his perspective. I'm try and think about it from that. Like, I played this game before, I know what happens. It's when you move Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Other files that were written upon the blood was stolen by the culprit. You messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft instead. You stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Gumshoe did not do that. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you'd committed theft instead. Gumshoe did not do that either. Portsman is accusing him of that. I'm just thinking out loud. That's when you moved Jim's body. He's accusing him of that. That was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Why would you mess up the file? Well, yeah, you'd mess them up. Why would you mess up the files before you moved his body? That's when you moved his body. That's... One of the file... details. That's when you moved his body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I'm gonna have to get a snack or something pretty soon here. You wouldn't have to move his body, or... You messed up- yeah, you'd have to move his body before you messed up the files. That's when he moved his body? No, I don't think that's how that works. That's when he moved his body. No. Oh, circle. Circle makes you go... What? Circle is what returns you to the previous statement. That's intuitive. Sincerely. You messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft instead. Hmm. That's when he moved his body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I don't think so. Can you... Didn't you say something about not noticing? You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was- Is it really just this- is it this simple? Yeah, his body wouldn't have been- Right? No, don't- careful. You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. I mean, if it was stolen, if one of these, that can't be that can't be possibly true, but that can't be true. If you're saying his motive was theft, Gumshoe ostensibly wanted to steal a file, and these files had blood written on them. One of the files that poisoned specifically for Cusco's poisoning was stolen. And this dude ostensibly wrote the name of his killer in blood all over the files, and the killer steals one of those files, and they see a couple of letters in blood. They don't put those two together. Portsman's like, it's Gumshoe. I think this is it.
Objection!
Still got it. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow Let me listen to music. Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another, closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I love that the controller vibrates a little with each objection. I love that. And interjection. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah! I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H! If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see! I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time! Well, Mr. Portsmouth? Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Standing over the body of his very recently deceased best friend. Glad everyone's so cheery. Even though I feel more dead than alive. But, you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however... What is it this time? You still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me! But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal! That's absolutely right! And I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Well, I was thinking. Did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Hey! You there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, member of security. Oh, Maggie.
Detective Gumshoe. Sir.
Maggie! Miss Bird is a security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you! I was into someone's room!
That's right! I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal! You'd never kill somebody, would you? It was me! That's right, I did it! Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Oh, well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal! So yeah, it was me! If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Yeah, rich coming from you. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. How the fuck's she supposed to know your buddy? So you're saying she used the master key. Master key, this can open every office door. Its use is controlled by security staff. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night. And tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's... true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir!
Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal! But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Ask for more details. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir!
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know. Why do you have the master key now?
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal! Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But! You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went for the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Her intent? From the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe? I'd say thievery.
Hold it!
I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory. One hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. Come on, see? There goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. Ah, but we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. It is like ping pong with this guy. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? That's true, he's got cred. Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Oh, really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's... hogwash. Whew! Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
Hold it!
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! What are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence! I'd love to. But first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. And press him for more information. Okay, what's yours? Thievery. She does know a good detective. No, it doesn't. It's a tutorial case. Stolen from the security office. Yeah, she wouldn't have had access to it. It does not if it were stolen. Snuck into your room using the master key. Oh, that's right, I need to investigate this. That's right. Mr. Edgeworth, I haven't had my daily rations yet. I'm not thinking too straight. It's the master key to every office in this building. Nice little skeleton key. Oh, what? That leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. I don't think so, because only the I think this is the statement. Turn touch off for... Turn touch off for gesticulation. I think this is our statement that we're supposed to be. That leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. That's not true. Because how would she... Let's say that she did... Let's say hypothetically that she did bust in here for thievery. How would she know about this safe? Someone busted in, looked for the secret safe. Someone was This better be. Think about it clearly. Think about it. Because it feels so good when you get it right, Violet. Oh yeah, he mentions the safe. So I think it has to be. And you know, when the music stops is when you get it right.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, there's a large flaw in your logic. Really? I think it holds up rather well, actually. What do you think is wrong with it? Nothing. Let's move on. This isn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate. That was careless of me. Can't afford to do that, or the truth will slowly slip away. Remain calm, Miles. It's the only way. stuff shelves to the wife now. Maybe it's the wrong statement.
Objection!
There we go. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be. But you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. Also, I just noticed the sweat dripping down his face is caught by the sweatband. I love this. God, this is a really good arrangement of the pursuit theme. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah! Even I didn't know about that safe, pal! And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either! See, look. It's doing its job. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you... what's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim! He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners! Like inseparable conjoined twins! That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Miss Maggie Bird?
Excuse me?
I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't... I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us, unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out of his office? You can't kick us out! This is Mr. Edgeworth's office! Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal! How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit! Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir... We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. Yes, I will save. No, you don't want to overwrite autosave, do you? No, you don't. You don't want to overwrite the autosave. It's a bad decision. Save complete. I was like, yeah, no, I'll do it. I was like, I'm gonna BRB, but I want the music to be playing. This is a really good arrangement. Really, 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 really good arrangement. Okay, I gotta, like, get a snack, and... This is a brief intermission. Thank you for waiting. Remember the mic this time. Hey, thanks so much for waiting. I'm gonna try and pace myself this time, actually. I was gonna try and do the full case in one stream. But man, I forgot how... your voice gets worn out. But... And it's also... I don't necessarily want to do the full case. I want to make sure that there aren't any audio issues. I tested like 2 or 3 times beforehand, so there shouldn't be. But before I go ahead with the full case, I just want to make sure that there won't be any errors. But yeah, this is really fun. This is really fun, and this is going to be the next stream game. For the foreseeable future. If you tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching the VOD, thank you so much for watching the VOD. I don't know... Well, I'll see you again when I'll see you again. How's that? And stop the streaming... You still have touch on? No. I always stop the stream way too early and cut it off, so here. I'm gonna hit stop streaming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.